Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been a long time since I have actually got to sit down and talk to you guys. There's been so much that has been going on in my life that I have had to keep private for our safety. I've been getting so many comments on why I am all of a sudden a single mom, where my kids are, and where I've been because my channel has been so inconsistent lately, and I know that. I haven't been able to put as much time into my channel because, to be honest with you guys, my life has been falling apart and I've been struggling. And I know I don't have to explain myself to anybody, but I see how it looks, and the last thing I want you guys to think is that I don't care about this channel, because I care so much and I feel so bad for leaving you guys in the dark. I love you guys so much and I love what I do, and I wanted to sit down and update you guys as much as what I can because I do think you guys deserve that. The first thing I wanted to talk about is me being a newly single mom. The last you guys heard, co-parenting was going great, the divorce was going great, and we were handling everything well. During the time that I filmed that, I still had a trauma bond with my ex, and for those of you who don't know what a trauma bond is, it is basically an emotional attachment that derives from ongoing cycles of abuse, and it is extremely hard to break. And because of this, I was still protecting him in many ways. The decision to come forward about my situation publicly was something that in itself took a lot of time to make, but at the end of the day, I do think domestic abuse is something that does need to be talked about more, and I do want to add my voice to the community, and I want to help so many of you guys out there, but at the end of the day, this is still my life, and it takes... Oh, I don't want to cry. I am still healing, so fully opening up and recalling all of the details is something that I don't feel that I am quite ready to do yet. What I can say is that I had an extremely toxic, manipulative, and abusive relationship with my ex, and due to his most recent actions, I had no choice but to obtain a restraining order to protect the lives of my children and myself. As of this current moment, I have had no contact with him, and I'm just hoping wherever he is getting the help that he needs to address his problems for the sake of his kids. My main focus throughout all of this has been with my children. I know a lot of you have been asking where they are and why I haven't been posting them. I've just been trying to be as present as humanly possible during this time of change. The last thing I want to do is stick a camera in their face. And on top of creating a safe and private environment for them, my channel has been shifting off of family centralized content for a while. I still want to share some organic moments with you guys, and if Grayson or August ask to be in a video, I will of course let them. It's just not going to be the main focus on my channel anymore. And that kind of explains the sporadic content you guys have been seeing, because it's been when they were asleep or the few times that family could watch them. And even then, there's so much I couldn't talk about. I wanted to give myself as much time as I needed to heal, and to me that looked like taking a break from my career and stressing about posting and editing. When I did get the urge to film, I let myself, but the main focus wasn't on how organized and polished the video was. I was mainly focused on just having fun. This ultimately led to content that was far from what you guys were used to seeing, on top of not being able to sit down and edit it perfectly because I am a single mom now. I want to make it clear that my latest uploads are not a good representation of where I want my channel to go. It has more been an accurate representation of how my life has been, which is chaotic and unclear, and I promise that is not what I want you guys to see from me. I'm trying to still get in the swing of things, so please bear with me. It's gonna take a little bit. I have never done this before, and it's one of those things that you don't know how to do until you do it. This is a new chapter in my life, and with that being said, I think that it's time for a new channel name. I think it's time for an entire channel makeover. So if you have any suggestions on what content I should make or what I should rename my channel, head over to my Instagram, because I am sure that my comments are still going to be disabled, but if they aren't, leave it down here too. But another thing I wanted to address is how often advertisements are on my videos. I know that is something that I've been getting commented recently as well, and I am not ignoring it. I wanted to give an explanation for those of you who have lost my trust as a creator, because maintaining transparency between my viewers and myself is something that is extremely important to me. Before everything happened and I took my initial first YouTube break, I had already signed a lot of contracts with sponsors, and for those of you who don't know, those get signed months beforehand. You kind of have like a big old list of things that you already know that you're going to be doing for the next couple months, and I didn't plan for this to happen in my life, to have me take such a long break. I knew I needed to take a break, and I knew that was what was best for me and my kids. And a lot of brands understood that, and they tried being as flexible as possible, and I'm very thankful for that. But when I returned from my break, that still meant that I had a huge to-do list to do in a short amount of time. For example, if I sign on 5 sponsors to complete in 2 months, I would usually create a bunch of content so that way it wasn't just boom, boom, sponsor, sponsor, sponsor. It's all evenly spaced out. But whenever I came back, there was so much loaded on my plate that I didn't have time to make videos to put in between. Taking a break took a chunk out of that time, where instead of posting 5 sponsors within 2 months, it's now 5 sponsors within 2 weeks. I don't remember the exact numbers, I'm just using it as an example. I did have to cancel a few, but for the rest that I could make, I tried my hardest to work on those sponsors to get them in on time because they were brands I was really excited to show you guys and really excited to work with. And to be frank with you guys, it is my job to protect my kids. And when that is threatened, you will do anything to ensure their safety again. I obviously have never done this before, and I knew I needed a lawyer to present my proof to figure out what to do. And lawyers cost a lot of money, and when it's brands that you genuinely love and want to work with, yes, I'm going to accept that. I'm going to work my butt off the fastest way possible to try to get us back on our feet again. And I'm telling you, any mother would. Looking back on it, I wish I would have communicated with you guys more on what was going on somehow, and I am so sorry. And once I got caught up and paid from all my sponsors in a last-ditch effort to take what he could from me, he drained my bank account multiple different times of money that I worked for after the separation. My car insurance, which had been under his father's name, got canceled early even after I had already paid that month. It was all under the table. I would just give them the money and then he would pay. My house got its yearly inspection, and due to the damage from my ex that I couldn't afford to fix, on top of not being able to pay rent that month because of the money that was stolen, we got evicted. That's when I moved back in with Megan, which was a blessing in disguise because living in that house was terrifying even after the locks got changed. At this point, I had no idea how I was going to get any hold on my finances, and I cannot thank my manager enough for the help that she did for me and my family during this time. She was unbelievably helpful when I confided in her. She did everything humanly possible to ease my financial situation by reaching out to brands and seeing if they could release funds early, because sponsors usually take a good amount of time for things to get paid through. It can take months before you actually get your payment. She also pitched me to more brands, and this doesn't mean I said yes to all of them. It just means I had more to choose from, which in the end would lead me to more sponsors. I bit off way more than I can chew though, as you guys saw, because although I was back to filming after my break, I didn't account for hard days, and I wasn't able to keep up with producing enough content like I usually was. And that translated to, again, little to no spacing between any sponsored content. And I am so sorry that that is all you saw from me. I'm taking accountability for putting YouTube on the back burner and making choices that led to my integrity being questioned, but I'm also not allowing myself to carry any guilt about it. I know my priorities were straight and my focus was where it needed to be, but I'm sorry that my relationship with my viewers had to suffer because of this. I love you guys so much, and you have been here since I was 17, and I am still learning and I'm still growing, and we're starting over. We're starting fresh, and I hope you still stick along for the ride. And thank you for any and all of the support. I have been reading your messages, and this goes to show that you don't know what's going on behind the camera. You don't know. But I love you guys so much, and thank you for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye.